Good morning, it's Margaret, your Realtor, and I want to give a few tips for sellers. But first I was asked why I got into real estate or how I got into real estate. Was it like my lifelong ambition? Well, no, it wasn't. I always, from the time I was a little girl, wanted to be a teacher. And in those days, my father used to say to me, no, you're going to be a nurse because you can be a nurse after you're married. So that's telling you how old I am. In my day and age, teachers had to retire once they got married. Anyway, luckily, it didn't happen to me. So I pursued and I became a teacher. Then I became an elementary school guidance counselor, a school psychologist, a pupil personnel director who had charge of nurses, guidance, Title I, special education, a myriad of things. But 99% of my energy in the last 10 years in the public school was spent on special education, which I was very devoted to. Then I retired and thinking that I would try something easier, maybe because I was eligible with the 20 years in the public schools, probably go to be an elementary school principal in New Hampshire, something easy and really still keeping me in the schools. I began consulting and I did set up a beautiful program for pregnant and parenting teens at the Voc School in Lawrence, and I really put my heart and soul into that. However, at the same time, my son, who was working at a brokerage firm in Boston, had just graduated from college, and someone told him he was an ideal fit for real estate. So he started taking a class. It was in Linfield, and my husband drove him because they both worked in Boston, and I took the class with him and enjoyed it and drove him home. Well, the final result was my son didn't go into real estate. He went into the Peace Corps where he thought he could do more good. And I began to do real estate. And I found that the skills I had as a teacher and as a counselor were very well aligned to the work of a realtor. I could still help people. I could still teach them what to do. I could counsel them on their decisions. It was a good fit for somebody who needed a change. So that's how I got into real estate. It wasn't, it was something that wasn't planned, but it certainly was something that I am now passionate about, and I'm happy in that field. So let me get to the tips for today. So they gave me a list of questions, advice for sellers. And the first one is, what is the biggest mistake you see Massachusetts sellers making today? Well, the biggest thing is people want to price their house too high. And that gets to be a problem because if your house doesn't sell in a very short time, it becomes like stale bread. People go on to the next thing. So you want to keep your house fresh. You want to price it right. That's what the biggest mistake people make, is not pricing the house right. So price your house right is the thing. Now, the next question is, what's the best piece of advice you give a homeowner thinking about selling? Oh, well, after they price the house right, I tell them, pay attention to detail. If you know there's something wrong, fix it. Depersonalize your house. Make sure there's no clutter. Just very simple things. It doesn't have to be spending a lot of money, but it is very important that your house be neat and clean, decluttered, depersonalized. Okay, now the next question. How do you approach pricing a home in today's market? Well, the way I approach pricing a home is think of the number 3. I find 3 comparable homes. Now, if your house is a ranch, I find 3 ranches. I don't find 3 mansions. But if your house is a mansion, I'm going to find 3 mansions. Okay, so I want to find 3 comparable homes within 3 miles, or if you're in the city, within 3 city blocks, and within the last 3 months. Not something that sold years ago, but it has to be relevant. So 3 houses, 3 miles or 3 city blocks, and 3 months. Okay, so that's how I price a house. I make a comparison, and then that's how I come up with your price. I don't want to price you out of the market by pricing it too high. But if I can find comps that support a good high price, that's what I want. I want the highest and best offer for you. I want to sell your house at the highest and best price that's reasonable, okay? But I'm not going to make the mistake of overpricing. And I often see when a price is the house is great and the price is right, we even have people who will make offers over the asking price. So don't worry, you won't lose out if you price your house correctly. Okay, then what was the next question was, what is the most important thing a seller can do to attract strong offers? Listen to your realtor. Your realtor is going to tell you what your house needs. Is it curb appeal? Do you have something that's very unique that we're going to emphasize? Listen to your realtor. That's the best advice I can give somebody. The realtor will tell you same things that I always say. Maybe even have a pre-inspection to see if there are any big defects in the house that you weren't aware of. But for the most part, people really know if there's a problem. Fix it. Okay, and did you ever have a sale almost fall through, and how did you save it? Well, that has happened to me. I had a house that was reasonably priced. We had the house, a nice offer, and we were moving along. We'd gone through P&S. Come to the day of the mortgage approval, they didn't get approval for their mortgage. And I was panicked. I didn't know what to do. But fortunately, I work with a very, very good realtor who is in my office. That's one of the things about Coldwell Banker. There are realtors. There's always a realtor assigned to the office. So the realtor was able to save the process. He wasn't the original realtor, but he worked and he saved the day. So that's another good thing. Make sure you're pre-qualified and you're not just marginal. Be pre-qualified for the house and then work with a good realtor as well as a good real estate agent. Thank you so much.